Now, here's the hosts of Top Story, Kelly Klass and Jill Skeen.
It's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Nobody knows where my Johnny
All right, there you go.
has gone.
Turn this down. Turn this down. There you go.
Oh,
All right.
it's my party. Why would you play that, Kelly?
Oh, let me think. Oh, I think it's going on tonight.
It's your party.
It's my party. That's right.
Yeah, hopefully you'll probably cry if you want to. That's okay. But tonight, Turf Club, 5 to 8, Kelly's retirement party, and we
Yep.
want everyone to be there to say goodbye to the big guy.
That's right. I mean, this is more for me than it is anybody. And I'm going to have a guest book there.
Oh,
And-
you did get a guest, but thank you.
And I think I'm going to take my camera and I think I'm going to take pictures with
Oh,
try
selfies
to everybody.
with everyone?
Selfies with everybody, yeah.
Oh, good.
So
Well,
that'll
it
be
sh-
kind of fun.
It should be a lot of fun. And we're going to have hors d'oeuvres and a no-host bar and
Yeah.
chat.
I
No
don't-
politic talk.
No politic talk. I don't think we'll even have any dancing girls dancing on the table. So, you know,
Maybe a few of your fans.
there are a few sacrifices we had to make.
few of your fans. I know, might get on a table. And remember when you were 16 on the radio and they thought you were so hot? I heard a
Yeah,
story
yeah.
like that yesterday from someone. I listened to him when I was in high school and we thought he was so hot. And then you realize he's 16.
Well, that's the sad part is that I didn't know that they thought
You didn't
I was
benefit
hot.
from it.
I didn't.
Poor Kelly.
You know, I mean, I had security issues.
That was the story of
I
your...
was so insecure that, you know, I just thought that nobody thinks I'm hot or ever will.
No
you
one
know?
will
And
talk
so
to you. They just
that was
listen
my-
to you every day.
You know, I'd see a nice looking girl and I'd think, oh man, there's no way she'd ever go out with me, you know, and that was my way of thinking.
Then did you put your radio voice on? Like, babe, do you know what I do between 2 and 5? What were your hours?
It was like 6 to 1.
And you
it
went
started off-
and then you went to school?
Yeah.
No wonder you didn't do well.
What do you mean?
Hey, I know. I know secrets.
So anyway,
no,
I wish I could kind of, you know, relive that knowing what I know now.
Oh yeah, you'd be like a player. You'd be like, you don't know who I am? You don't think I'm cute? I am the voice of Keep Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby. I know. That's what they say that all the time. Someone said that literally yesterday.
Yeah, that's where it started, 1969. It all started at a 1,000-watt radio station in Twin Falls, Idaho. And you won't appreciate what I just said unless you like the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Oh.
What was the guy's name then? Ted Baxter.
Oh, Ted
Baxter, the
Baxter.
news. It all started at a 5,000-watt radio station in Fresno, California.
He was a great character. Is that who you modeled yourself after?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, still do.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Was it,
Nah,
Ted?
Nah.
He was hilarious, actually.
But anyway, hey, here we are.
We digress.
We
Your party.
digress, yes. And
tonight.
we've got, that's right, 5 to 8 o'clock. Please be there so I can take our picture.
Well, Kelly's worst fear is no one will show.
That's right. It is. What if that could be embarrassing. I mean, my
Be very
reputation
embarrassing.
is on the line here.
Oh, yeah.
So what if we gave a party and nobody came?
Because, I wasn't there back then. I didn't hear all this big KLIXcast stuff. I didn't know. So, I just think you're making this stuff up. I
Well-
show up and there's you and me in the station. I'd be like, really, Connie and Tracy, and go, oh, really? You were some big shot, were you, Cal?
There was a reason I was so popular.
Really?
Yes. There was nobody else to listen to.
You were an exclusive.
Yeah, there was let's say there was Keep and there was Clicks, there was Cart and there was KTFI, and those were pretty much the 4 radio stations in the area.
Who was your big competition?
That's the thing. At that point in time, we really didn't have any.
So everyone listened to
So
you.
that's it.
This is what I hear.
They
I
had
don't
no
know
choice.
if it's true.
Actually, my big competitors were Wolfman Jack
Really?
out of Los Angeles.
Do him.
All right, baby, you got the Wolfman. And that was he was out of XERB.
Yeah.
And then there was KOMA in Oklahoma City.
Who
and
was
there was
that?
KFXD in Nampa. Those were the big rockers.
And that was it.
Yeah. So that was pretty
Well,
much it.
it's
and
always
not
fun.
everybody didn't have portable CD players and iPads and stuff.
They had
back then. You
radios.
had your radio, and that was it.
And people listen. They
Yeah.
drag Maine, and
That's
listen to
right.
KLIXcast.
That's right.
No wonder you're just in a studio. You weren't having any fun at all.
That's
Even if
true.
you went out with these girls, you'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm working. I have a break, maybe.
I don't know.
Poor Cal.
I could go on, but
Poor
you know,
Cal.
I don't want to bore everyone. You know, the phone's been ringing here.
Well, maybe it's someone who wants to say goodbye.
I don't know. It's probably somebody who wants to talk about the president's speech last night.
Just-
Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
I can still say goodbye.
Oh, okay. Yes, you can.
Okay. Now that I said goodbye, we can get on with it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last night was incredible. I mean, aren't we going to go farther in debt? What about health care? They're going to need health care. 5 million of them, I mean, if not more, 10 million, are going to need health care. I mean, the road to hell was paved with good intentions, wasn't it?
What do you
know,
think they're doing for health care now?
I could go on. I could go on and on and on. But you know what? I have thought about this ad nauseum, and everything that is going on with this person in the White House. And I'm to the point where I am thinking, you know what, buddy? Just keep on doing what you're doing. The last election got a lot more conservatives elected, showing that they don't like what you're doing. You keep doing what you're doing, and there's no way a Democrat's going to be elected in 2016. So I'm kind of like, you know what? Hey, buddy, if this is what you want, if this is how you want to play it, just go ahead and keep playing it this way, because nobody other than the 5 million more votes he's going to have now, or the Democrats will have in the election because of this move, you know what? That might not be enough.
You know what? These people don't vote. Even if you have a green card, you can't vote. A lot of these were just getting work visas, so they aren't deported. A lot of these people are working anyway, and a lot of these people are going to going to our emergency room.
It doesn't make any difference.
The Republicans will never win another election if you alienate the Hispanic population.
If we're going to have a president who just going to go rogue and do whatever he wants, and to hell with the Constitution, to hell with the law, to hell with what Americans really want, then let him do it. And let him just defeat himself and defeat the Democratic Party.
You know what? You are so off base, because let me finish, because the Republican Party will never win another presidential election, because they have alienated every other group except the old white cranky man, which you are.
Really?
Absolutely. They've alienated.
What happened in the last election?
Big deal.
Oh,
big deal.
Yeah.
They ran against Obama, but the big kahuna.
Yeah, that was not a big deal. What are you talking about? Just because there's more Republicans elected than ever before, that was nothing. Come on.
The big kahuna is the presidential, and next time there are way more Republicans up for re-election than Dems. So I think there's 26 Republican senators, but you keep on alienating, let me think, the gays, the African Americans, women, the Hispanics. You will never have another.
We have a law in this country.
He did not change the law.
Essentially, what the president said last night was this. Well, first of all, let's go over what he said.
He did not change the law.
What's going on here?
I don't know.
This is supposed to be playing. Wait.
So we're going to offer the following deal. If you've been in America for more than 5 years, if you have children who are American citizens or legal residents, if you register, pass a criminal background check, and you're willing to pay your fair share of taxes, you'll be able to apply to stay in this country temporarily without fear of deportation. You can come out of the shadows and get right with the law. This deal does not apply to anyone who has come to this country recently. It does not apply to anyone who might come to America illegally in the future. It does not grant citizenship or the right to stay here permanently or offer the same benefits that citizens receive. Only Congress can do that. All we're saying is we're not going to deport you.
So all we're saying is we're not going to uphold the law. Here's the deal. Here's what he said. If you have been robbing banks since before 2010...
That is not what he said.
Excuse me, I'm speaking. If you have been robbing banks since before 2010, then you can continue robbing those banks and we're not going to prosecute you. He just as well have said that.
That is not what he said, though.
Because it is against the law to rob a bank, and it is against the law to be in this country illegally.
Oh, my gosh.
You cannot separate those.
You can
You are
separate
breaking
those.
the law.
You know what? He did not change the law. He changed
He's
what
not
they are going to
upholding the
enforce
law.
it.
He's not upholding the law. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
This man-
Illegal aliens are supposed to not be in this country.
And it's
You're
just
supposed
that
to
black
send them
and
out.
white. Then it's just black and white because they
It
aren't.
is
They
when
are
it
not.
comes
They
to
are
the
not
law.
leaving. And if your kids are here and are citizens, these people are here. This is only good for 3 years. And the other thing is he has deported more people than any other president has. He's actually called deporter in chief by the Hispanic population. So you know what? He has to deal with it. Congress has had a chance to deal with it. They've known since 2008
We
he wants to do
have
comprehensive
a
immigration
law
plan.
in place.
And it's not working, is it?
Uphold the law until it is changed.
He has deported
He
and deported
swore
and deported.
when he took over office that he would uphold the laws of the Constitution. He's not doing that. He's a liar.
So Ronald Reagan too, and George H.W. and everyone back to
If
Dwight
they were breaking the
Eisenhower.
law,
They
if
aren't
they-
breaking the law.
Okay, then so is Obama.
No. Oh wait, but now everyone didn't have to throw a fit for anyone until Obama did this. They're doing background
Doesn't make
checks.
any difference.
Of course
If he's
not.
breaking the law, he's breaking the law. If they broke the law back then, he's breaking the law
Where
now.
is the Republican
you said that
plan
they were
on
breaking the law back then,
immigration?
then that means Obama is breaking the law now.
But you guys
They were
aren't
wrong.
saying that.
Let's
no,
say
all
they
of a
were
sudden,
wrong.
but no one did say they were wrong.
Doesn't make any difference
Of course
because that
it does.
was then and this is now.
Of course it does. It's
Well,
because
no.
Obama's doing
You're
it,
saying-
now it's wrong.
You're saying, well, they broke
Every
the law back
president
then.
has done it.
They broke the law back then, but Obama's not breaking the law now, even though he's doing the same thing. Hey, if they broke the law back then Obama's
But
breaking
no one
the law
has ever
now.
said that.
Then we'll go back and do something about it. Say it. Say it. That's fine. I don't care because that was 20 years ago.
A president
Today
can do
is
executive
today.
actions.
Yes, he can, as long
Thank
as they're
you.
within the law.
This
But
is
these are
within the
not
law. He
within-
did not change
he's
the
not
law.
upholding the law.
He changed
I don't
enforcing.
understand what problem you liberals have with that. You have to uphold the law.
But
He
the
made
Republicans
he
can
took
do
an
it, and it's
oath.
okay.
You know what? If they didn't do it, then shame on them. Let's
Hello.
prosecute them.
They
Let's
haven't.
prosecute them.
No, Ronald Reagan is like
Prosecute
next
him.
to a god. He
Prosecute
did
him.
it. My gosh.
Prosecute them.
They're saying they can do it. So no
Prosecute
one
him.
is saying it's against the law except you guys for Obama. But
It
it's
is
not against the law. No, it's not.
Oh, I see. So you guys say, oh, that's not against the law. So it's not against the law. So, hey.
Oh, but every
what I
other
said was
president
correct.
can do it. Whatever Obama does, it's a problem. You know, he's not a leader, and then when he is, oh, he's a dictator. My gosh, why don't you just deal, instead of putting your energy into suing the president, why don't you guys just deal with immigration? It's been going on. He has talked about it since 2008. Deal with it. They've had a bill in Boehner's desk for 512 days now.
Because if they change the law and he doesn't
They
like
haven't
it,
changed
he's
the law.
not going to follow it anyway because he doesn't.
Oh,
he doesn't
right.
do that. He
It's
has
a
proven himself.
bipartisan law.
He's proven himself that he doesn't want to follow the
It's a
law, and he's not
bipartisan-
going to
Oh,
because he is
make
a
up the
king.
stuff you
he
want.
is an emperor, and
Oh,
he's pulling
please.
our country down because of it.
Why don't you deal
So,
with the problem instead of
the sooner these
complaining
next
about
2
Obama?
years are over with, the better off we're all going
You
to
guys
be.
will never win another
We'll-
presidential
we'll
election.
Yeah. Let's see
Mark
what
my
happened in
words
the
on
last
it.
election. Look
that,
what happened
that
in the
means
last
nothing
election.
midterms.
Ella Donahue is next with CSI Update. 7360300 is the number to call here on Top Story. We'll have to postpone our discussion on the president's speech
Till
till later.
9:20.
9:20 at least, yeah.
We're full.
Because we are full up today. I just wanted to mention, it's kind of warming up now. In fact, it's 24. So it looks to me now like the situation on the dairies and feedlots around here is like frozen manure and maybe even liquid manure.
Starting to melt.
So if you had because later on today it's, probably going to get up over freezing again like it did yesterday. So if you have this situation on your feedlot or dairy, you may be thinking about a low and honey loader, and they've got them at Stanley and Company. Give a call to Pat Hartzell. He can fix you up so you can see one of these in operation. 280-1167. The low and honey loader loads all types of manure from liquid to frozen and dry and all the stuff in between. So they're quite an amazing piece of equipment. Right now we have Ella Donahue from CSI with our update of the week. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Ella. How are you?
I'm good.
What's
Good.
going on
Friday.
at CSI?
Well, tonight, the 5th-ranked, undefeated College of Southern Idaho men's basketball team hosts the Idaho Central Credit Union Invitational tonight and tomorrow. CSI plays Planet Athlete tonight at 7:30 and again tomorrow night at 7:30.
Wait, is that
All
a
right.
team? What's Planet Athlete?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
I think it's a team. It must be a team.
Wow.
Must be,
That's
yeah.
an ad.
If they're
Hot
playing
team.
them. I'll let you know.
Weird.
We're
Thank
going
you.
tonight, so.
Okay, let us know, Ella.
And then the 45th annual CSI Ski Swap is today and tomorrow at the Rec Center, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. today, and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. tomorrow. Magic Valley Business will also be there selling new winter gear. And please go, because this is my microeconomics teacher, Dennis Heiner, putting it on with the business club. So go.
All right. For
It's
no
always-
other reason than that.
It's usually packed, but it's
Yeah,
a great place
it
to get
is.
some good stuff.
I just want Dennis to know that I have been advertising him this week.
Yeah.
Oh, are you not doing well in his class?
I'm doing well enough, but
Are you
it
brown
never
nosing
hurts.
Dennis? What's going on here?
It's the difference between a B plus and an A minus.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
big difference.
Okay. Dennis,
All
hold true
right.
to your principles. Okay, anyway, go on.
And then we have the CSI student nurses. They're going to hold their first ever holiday artisan bazaar from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow in the CSI Health Science Building on North College Road. Vendors are going to be on both floors, upstairs and downstairs, so make sure if you go, you hit them both. And of course, admission is free.
All right.
Okay.
And last but not least, well, actually, we got a lot of stuff
Well, we
next
have a lot
week,
of stuff.
but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll never get through it all.
But Baxter,
Especially if I don't shut up.
Oh, yeah, I'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Baxter Black will be at CSI Fine Arts Auditorium tomorrow night at 7 p.m. You can still get advance tickets for $20, and they're being sold at Twin Falls, Buell, Burley, and at the CSI Ag Department office in the Evergreen Building. So if you have any questions, call 732-6401. And tickets at the door are going to be $25, and it's for, I believe, the either the Equine Club or the Ag Club, or they're doing it together. But it is for a good cause, and it'll be a great show. So go
Yeah.
ahead and see it.
He's a funny guy.
Fantastic. And he's really, really nice. I met him.
Oh, yeah. I met him several years ago. He used to be a veterinarian for Simplot. I mean, he's an Idaho
Oh,
boy.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's very, very cool guy.
All
He's
right.
one of the few comedians who can be funny without being dirty and nasty.
Exactly.
It's harder, actually, to do that because they kind of do it for
Yes.
shock value, but I think you're more clever when you do that.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right. So, what else?
We have the annual Turkey Trot 5K walk will begin at 8 a.m. Thanksgiving morning in the Expo Center parking lot. The race begins at 9, and if you find a frozen turkey along the route, and if you can carry it all the way to the finish line, you get to keep it.
All right.
It's also a run, too. So in case
Yes.
you just said walk, so run
I'm
and
sorry.
walk.
It's a run and walk.
Boy, they have a lot of these going on, don't they?
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
there's been a lot this year. And all participants get to ride the CSI zip line at the end of the race, $20 per person, or $60 for a family of 4.
So this is on Thanksgiving morning.
Yes.
Okay, great. Of course, you probably won't be able to use that frozen turkey that day. It takes about 2 or 3 days to defrost.
Well, hey, Christmas is coming up. Hanukkah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we had
coming
like
up.
Oh, yeah,
4
we eat
turkeys
turkey
last
on
year.
Hanukkah. Not really. Go on. Latkes. Okay, go on.
The CSI theater department producing its show Fruitcakes, an enduring story of a runaway who gets stranded in a town of, you guessed it, fruitcakes. He comes to find out that these nutty characters are among the best he's ever known. It's 7:30 p.m. Wednesdays through Saturdays, December 3rd through the 13th. $8 for adults and $6 for students.
A town of fruitcakes, huh?
That sounds good. I like fruitcake.
Do you really?
You're like one of the few
I know.
ever.
My dad.
I always
got
thought there
me
was
into
just
it.
one that was just regifted all around because no one wanted it.
Petrified fruitcake.
And pretty much that's what it tastes like. Okay, go on.
If you're thinking of becoming a CSI student, but it's tough to get into campus by 5 p.m., before 5 p.m. to get started, CSI is going to hold a late night registration from 5 to 9 p.m. Thursday, December 4th in the Student Union Building, which is also known as the Taylor Building. And they're going to have advisors and career counselors there to answer your questions, free refreshments, and activities for kids as well.
Oh,
Wow.
okay, good.
All kinds of stuff. Can they find all this stuff online?
Oh, yes, they can all find it online, and then also on all of your other stations, they usually post it as well.
All right,
What's
okay,
the
very good.
website?
KEZJ.com.
No.
No.
Okay, hello.
Wrong answer.
For CSI website. Hello.
CSI.edu.
We are clicks. Yeah.
Well, KZJ is one of ours, so we're
Yeah.
at least glad you got that.
Cardinal
part right.
sin
Yeah,
here.
I didn't mess
Just
that up.
kidding. I know you didn't.
Well, Ella,
Happy. We won't see you next week.
happy
'cause-
Thanksgiving.
No, so you guys have a good Thanksgiving because
You
I know
too.
I will.
All right,
Oh,
we'll see you
good.
the week after, right?
Yes, I
All
will
right.
be here.
All right, sounds good. And now, coming up next, we're going to find out about the Minnecasia Turkey Trot.
Everyone's going to be running. The whole town is going to be running
I'll tell you,
everywhere.
everybody is, yeah. What you
Except
said.
Kelly.
Yeah, you got that right. And we're back, just like magic. 7360300 is the number to call. By the way, I wanted to mention that Scott Truax
I know. How
is
could
going
you
to be
forget
in, I
Scott?
don't know, going to be in just a few minutes. He's getting us up to date on the Snake River Canyon jump. And he has a book out, his dad's autobiography, I guess.
I think so.
We'll
It's
be
on
talking
Kindle
about that.
right now, so he's excited to talk about it, and we'll get an update.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And then we
Yeah.
have Moriah Morningstar coming up at 9 o'clock. She's from Hageman. She's an author, written a book. And so we'll be talking to her for a while, too.
Mm-hmm.
So a full Friday today.
I know. It's
Not to mention the party tonight, 5 to 8 o'clock, the Turf Club, my going away retirement party. But other than
not
that.
to mention that.
Yeah,
but,
not to mention
but
that.
please come. Please come.
Yeah, please. Okay, right now we have Tasha Stapleman. I think we talked to Tasha last year on this same deal, the Minnecaja Turkey Trot. Good morning, Tasha.
Hi, Tasha.
Good morning, Kelly. Hi, Jill. How are you guys
I'm
this
great.
morning?
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So I think we talked to you last year about this same thing, this Turkey Trot, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
In fact, this is our 9th year running.
Oh, my goodness.
Way to go, Cal.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Well, I knew it had been going on for a while. So, well, tell us what this is all about.
There's a lot of people trotting on Thanksgiving, aren't they?
They're trying to earn their pie for later on in
I
the
guess
day.
so.
So the Minnecaja Turkey Trot is a 5K race on Thanksgiving morning.
Okay.
And it is a race that's flat and fast, which means everybody can come. In fact, we've had people not only in wheelchairs come, but we had a lady a couple of years ago do it on crutches. The entire race on her own on crutches, if you can believe it.
Wow.
Do you think it's because they really don't want to be home cooking? So they want
Yes, I do.
someone else to be home cooking? Like, I am going to do the race if I'm on crutches. I am not cooking this morning. I think that's the motivation, Tasha. What do you
I
think?
think you're right. Yes,
Get me out of the
absolutely.
kitchen. Yeah, okay,
She
great.
might have even broken her leg on purpose.
Please.
I know, right?
I know it. So what time does it start?
The race actually starts at 9. So if you want to register on race day, you need to get there early. If you haven't picked up your packet, be there between 8 and 8:30 to get all that done so that you can be at the starting line. We start the race right at 9 o'clock.
Do
you
they
can
get a
register
T-shirt?
They absolutely get a T-shirt. We
Okay,
have
cool.
great T-shirts, too, this year. So, I mean, every year, but they're great this year. And there's a couple of ways to register right now. So you can go online. Our website is www.minnecajaturkeytrot.com. You can go on there to register. You can also go to Hearst Chiropractic Clinic in Burley, and they have forms there, and you can register there. You can always register on race day. So there are a couple of ways to get registered for the race.
Yeah, all right. Are you on Facebook by any chance?
We are on Facebook, yes.
All right.
So you can find us there. And
You're
go to
everywhere.
We're everywhere. Are you kidding me?
We can't get away from you.
That's actually true.
So Tasha, do they win
No, but
do they win anything?
So we have prizes for the top 3 finishers in each category. So we have a men's, a women's, a kids category, but then we also have the masters men and women. So there's lots of prizes. We like to make it a lot of fun for everybody because, quite honestly, the great majority of the people who come and run the Turkey Trot don't plan to win. It is more for fun and a community gathering, and so we give out lots of prizes. We have so many great businesses and restaurants and stuff in the area who so graciously donate lots of prizes so we can give away stuff and make it fun for everyone. We give prizes for the best costume, the best group costume. We give away a prize for the person who comes the furthest to run the Turkey Trot. We once had someone from like Germany, and
Oh, you're kidding.
we have people come from far away, and they're coming to visit their family, but
I
they
would
win
think,
the
huh?
great prize. So
Yeah, as long as we're here.
And again, I don't want to help Mom cook. I'm going to go have her walk around. Yeah,
absolutely.
that is
Oh,
great. So
dude.
do you have a division for wheelchairs or crutches? Or
We
anyone?
don't, but I did.
Yeah.
We don't. We had. We do. Maybe we should do that. I did have someone email me this year and say, "I'm in a wheelchair. Will I be able to do this race?" And I said,
Yeah.
"Absolutely. You won't be the first." And so
That's
we
awesome.
regularly have people in wheelchairs and stuff like that do it. So it's great.
So where's the takeoff point?
Okay, so the takeoff point is West Minico Middle School in Paul, and the race goes through the city of Paul and then back to the school. And there's parking there at the school or overflow parking just across the street at West End Fire and Rescue.
Okay.
And speaking of West End, I should say that that's where our proceeds go. So all the money that we raise for this race goes to benefit West End Fire and Rescue. It's a volunteer fire department. And they are also so gracious in that they give a lot of the money away to different community programs. So it really does benefit the entire community.
Oh, very nice. So we're out of time, so they can find out more at minicasiaturkeytrot.com.
Yes, and real quick before I go, can I thank our presenting sponsor?
Please, quick.
AgriService, Massey Ferguson sponsors us every year, so thank you to them for making the race possible, and good luck on your retirement.
Oh,
Oh, me or
yeah,
him?
for
Yes,
you.
Kelly.
Me. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
To you
Thank
on
you.
your
This is why
retirement.
Kelly's retiring.
We're out of time. Thank you very much, Tasha. Good to talk to you. 7360300 is the number to call here this morning on Top Story. Welcome back, and I was going to tell you about the Certiset from Farmore of Idaho. And why is this so important? It's because when the weather's right, it's important, especially around here, because when it's haying time, that's when it rains. Or what should I say, you always know when it's haying time here in the Magic Valley because it's raining. And so anyway, so all that nice weather makes a difference, and you don't want to have to spend time pulling all the pipe out of the field so you can get your equipment in there. They have what's called Certiset. It's a solid set system that allows you to water almost to blooming. You don't have to move the pipe out. They have attachments on the equipment that goes in, lifts the pipe up, and sets it back down behind you. And I know very little about this, but I do know who the expert is. That's the folks at Certiset at Farmore of Idaho, 324-3341 or farmoreofidaho.com. They can tell you all about it. Etsy, I don't think I have an appropriate song on
I thought
here
we had Rocket Man.
to introduce our next guest. It must not be on there anymore, Jill. I'm
Dang
sorry.
it.
Scott, this is why he's retired. No, come on.
I can borrow Chris
This is
Anderson's,
fine.
and I can do
Just
that.
do something.
Okay, something has happened here.
I could sing a few bars.
I'm not getting audio when I'm supposed to be getting audio, and I think, okay,
There
we
you
can do
go.
that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Who doesn't love Star Trek?
Who doesn't?
The
I
original
know, right?
series.
The
Right.
original series. Yeah.
That shows you what a Star Trek geek I am.
Yeah.
That's how you have to quantify it when you're a Star Trek nerd.
The
Absolutely.
original series.
Absolutely.
Well, Scott, how are you? We haven't talked to you in a while.
Busy as always,
Yeah?
but having fun building rockets and getting ready for the big the big liftoff.
Okay, so when is that? Do we know yet?
I wish I knew.
Okay.
That's the $64 question. It's really out of our hands right now. Right now, it's Eddie and our producer Steve are out there trying to pick the best broadcast deal and line up sponsors. So that's I knew when I started this, the rocket building part would be the easy part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of it is from the political side of it to the broadcast side. We had this naive idea that we were doing something so cool that the broadcasters would just be,
Waiting in line for
Yeah,
it.
and you got to go out and you got to sell it and
Yeah.
you got to
Yeah.
make them understand what this is.
You got to
'cause
pitch it.
you got a lot of these. See, anybody that's in our demographic, that grew up with Evel Knievel, they get it.
Right.
But the ones that, a lot of these,
20-year-old
30,
producers
20,
now. You're like
exactly.
marketing
Yes.
guys, like, what?
Yeah.
They don't get
exactly.
it.
If it was Kim Kardashian or something like that, they'd be
Yeah.
right on it.
Yeah, put her in a rocket.
somebody said,
Yeah,
put,
wouldn't we like to? And send it to outer space, never to return.
somebody said stick Honey Boo Boo in it. And,
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, no, and that's the other thing is, we don't want to go that route. We are very mindful of telling the story and making it classy, and we're willing to give up, certain
purists.
concessions just to make sure that we've got some control about how this thing is gonna, how the story's gonna be told.
But you still are working on the documentary, right?
Yeah.
That's what Eddie and everyone is doing is the documentary. So there will definitely be a documentary on
Absolutely.
this. Okay, cool.
And I will most likely write a book of my experiences because it's been
Have you been keeping notes?
crazy road. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have an outline already, but lately I had a chance. I've had sitting on my computer for ages my dad's autobiography, and it's okay. Granted, maybe I'm a little biased, but really, it's really good. He lived an amazing life. I mean,
So in case people don't know who your dad is, you might as well just refresh them real quick.
he's the guy that started this whole Evil Knievel business. He built the rocket that Evil attempted to fly across the Snake River, and the parachute came out too soon, so it wasn't successful, and that's why we got this cool thing to attempt 40 years later.
He was a
He
rocket
left a
scientist.
legacy for his son.
Yeah, he literally, when they say it's not rocket science, well, this is.
Yeah.
And that's, he wouldn't, he didn't like the term rocket scientist. He considered himself an engineer. But, I mean, that's what he did. He designed, his engine design is the same engine that was used on the space shuttle. Had he ever
That's amazing.
thought to patent it,
Yeah.
he would have passed away a lot richer than he was. So
Wow.
And Scott would have been happier today, right?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, I could have funded this whole thing myself years ago. So, but everything, it's very odd. Everything has sort of happened the way it kind of needed to happen. And, meeting Eddie and all the people that have kind of come into my life because of this it's just been amazing. I've enjoyed every minute of, well, not every minute. Okay.
I know.
Some
There's
really
been a
difficult
few
minutes out
times that
there.
you've pulled your hair out. So
I'm
what
sure,
about
I'm
your
sure the highlight of the people have been me and Jill. of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, there you
We're
go.
actually, I think, going to be in the documentary unless we hit the floor. But
Well, we want to be in the book too. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Whatever. But talking about the book, so you finished your dad's, or you went over your
what
dad's
happened
autobiography.
Was, so he spent years writing this book, and it documents his life from growing up in a log cabin that his dad built on 40 acres in Northern California, to his time at in the Navy in Annapolis, through World War II, on post World War II up to Evil Knievel and beyond. And sadly, I think about 2004, he had a small stroke, and kind of Alzheimer's sort of kicked in, and he continued writing, but it wasn't
the same.
It wasn't the same. He wasn't doing anything interesting, and so I had to kind of clean it up, and I wrote the epilogue because he writes in his book, he goes, I don't know how the last chapter of an autobiography is written unless it's, on your deathbed. And I sort of,
you wrote it?
Talked about, I wrote the epilogue and said, this is what happened in the, the final years of his life. And, my mom passed away in 93, and then he remarried somebody substantially younger, but she took very good care of him. I mean, she genuinely loved him, and they had, a good life. She took care of him until, he passed away.
Wow.
And, like I said.
She's obviously still alive?
Yeah, I'm kind of not quite sure where she is these days. We don't, we haven't, kept a close touch. I think my dad put her through medical school, so,
wow.
And she's off being a doctor somewhere. So, but
interesting.
like I said, I'm really excited. It's on Amazon. Just look up American Rocket Man.
It sounds great.
On Amazon.
It's an ebook, right?
Yeah, it's just available in ebook. In fact, my plan is to take the profits from the book, not only sink them into the rocket project, but also get a printing, get a quote unquote real book out of it. So, but the electronic format's really great because anybody with any kind of electronic device, if you've got a smartphone or a PC or a Kindle, you can get the Kindle app and you can read it. And it's like 500 pages of awesome.
Wow.
How much is the Kindle book?
$20. And if you send me verification that you purchased the book, I will mail you a really nice embroidered Return to Snake River patch that we have.
Oh,
nice.
So it gets a little, a little bonus there.
So Scott, with the weather the way it is, which season do you think this could happen? I mean, because clearly you have to have the right weather. There's wind in the spring. There's whatever.
Well, I'll tell you the Fox deal kind of falling through sort of put the kibosh on doing it this year.
Yeah.
But we're revisiting our new production company has put together what the Hollywood folks call a sizzle reel. Mm-hmm. And it's basically like a movie trailer or TV trailer that's a little
coming to Twin Falls.
a little 2-minute deal that shows about the project, and I've seen it and it's awesome. I mean, if that doesn't get the network types fired up, I don't know what will. It's really good. So our producers out there and our new production companies out there shopping it, and they've got a lot of interest. So, and we've got some big name sponsors that I can't name. There's something
Scott.
something pro that you would go to if you wanted to film extreme sports type
Oh,
stuff.
let me think.
They're
Wow.
very interested, and they're the ones that I can actually
Hint
Allude
about.
to.
talk about. The other ones are they're out there and they're big, and it's going to come off in a big way. That's kind of the thing that it's been such a long time, and we're all like, okay, let's launch this thing already. But now, given this little bit of extra time, we can really do it right, and it's going to be, it's looking like late spring, early summer.
Okay,
So-
good.
Okay.
So are you still? Is everything completed on the rocket? I mean, are you
Yeah, we
happy
will-
with all the tests? And by the way, last time I saw you, I actually got to sit in the rocket, which was so cool.
Yeah, it
That was
really
so
doesn't
cool.
hit you until you
That
sit
scared
in
me
it on
to
the
death.
ramp.
And I said to Eddie, I'm like, I don't know how you could do this. To be shot off at what 400 miles an hour? What is it
Yeah,
going to be?
it goes 0 to 400 in 5 seconds,
Like
just under 5
freaky,
seconds.
and
Wow.
just sitting in it, Kelly. I mean, it's terrifying. Honestly, you're just looking up. I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah,
I can't
400
imagine
miles
Evil
an
did
hour
that.
with an
No,
open cockpit.
No.
And nearly 3,000 feet in the air with a little 25-inch diameter,
it's
little.
terrifying. I honestly, actually, people thought when I said that on air, they thought it would be a great fundraiser to get people to sit in it and take pictures. And I'm like, probably, because who would ever be able to? You have to be small though.
Yeah, well, you have to be.
It's a tiny rocket.
A lot of people don't know, but I got a call from Ed Beckley long ago that he wanted, when he heard that I was doing this, he's like, "Oh, I want to fly in your rocket."
There's no way.
And I said, "Okay, well," and I'll talk to anybody. And then he said, "Well, I got to tell you, I'm 62 years old and I'm 300 pounds," and I'm like, "Whoa, hey,
And six,
sorry,
how tall? He's so tall.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
6'3" or something." I said, "You just won't fit." And he goes, "Well, you may have to make it bigger." And I go, "I'm not interested in building you a rocket. I am building the one my dad
Yeah.
built to prove a point.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, you just won't fit in it."
And thank goodness Eddie's like my size.
Eddie's exactly my size.
Yeah.
We're
And
the
so
same
we
height,
all
same
fit.
weight.
And I'm like, what a blessing that he was that size as opposed to someone coming to you that was, taller or bigger. Or, I mean, that thing is small.
Yeah, when we started this thing out, we had our, we didn't have. I originally wanted Robbie Knievel to fly it, but
Yeah.
when that didn't work out, we sort of were penning our list of people that we think people would want to see, and there were some people like we threw out like Johnny Knoxville and some of these extreme sports guys, and Johnny Knoxville's really tall.
Yeah.
We would have had to really cram him down in there. I don't know if
Yeah.
he would have fit.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Like, you have to have a certain physique. That's it.
Yeah, I'm 5'10", 175, and it's a tight fit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
So I wouldn't make it, would
Kelly,
I?
your leg wouldn't make it. No, I was surprised because Kelly Knievel said to me, Jill, take off your jacket. I'm like, all right, put on your keys. I'm like, okay. And then, you fit in there. I didn't know how I was going to get in there. I was like, oh my gosh, the thing is tilted so at such an angle. It was crazy.
Yeah, Knievel said he was used to it. I don't think it really hit him until he saw it on the ramp.
No, it
and
freaks
said
you out.
Yeah.
that he was alleged to have said, "My God, it goes straight up."
Yes.
Because when you look at the degree ramp that he takes off from with a motorcycle, it's I don't know, maybe 25 degrees,
Yeah.
and this thing's 56 degrees,
Yeah.
and it does. It looks like it point when
Yeah,
you're in
it
it.
does.
It looks like you're headed
It
to the moon.
does.
But
It
the
does.
reason that it's that steep is back in the day, the parachute took a certain amount of time to deploy, so that it had to reach a good altitude to give it hang time. And our parachute deploys a lot faster, but we got to do it historic. So
So you think you
So you're
fixed the
still at
parachute?
56 degrees.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's creepy.
Wow.
So you think you fixed the parachute?
yeah, oh, absolutely. In
Okay.
fact, we did the test that my dad was never able to do, and that was do a static test where we bolted hard down to the ramp. In fact, it wasn't that hard. It went 18 inches up the ramp until it hit a bump stop, and then we tested it with the parachutes in. My dad was never able to do a static test with the parachutes in. Had he been able to do that test, would have discovered
He'd
that
be
it
so
deployed.
proud of you.
I think so.
What's the name of the book again online?
It's American Rocket Scientist. It's on Amazon, Amazon Kindle. Just
I'm going to get that.
punch it in there and boom, and I'll send you a patch.
You don't have
Sounds
to.
like
You,
fun.
I have a T-shirt. You don't have to send me a patch.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll take
thank
a
you.
patch.
Cool.
All right.
Kelly
Done and
take a patch.
I didn't get to sit in the rocket, so I'll take a patch.
Yeah, you didn't get to sit in there.
It's only
Anyone
fair.
can Google those pictures because I am in the rocket, and it is really amazing from my perspective.
I think we
It
have
is
them on our
crazy.
website,
Yeah.
newsradio1310.com.
If you do, I'll link to them on our
Yeah, we do have
Return to
them on.
Sender.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
awesome.
We're out of time. Scott Truax, thank you. It's always fun.
Thanks
All
for
right,
keeping
thank
us
you.
abreast, and hopefully you'll keep us in
Return to
touch with what's
Snake River
going
on Facebook.
There you
Like
go.
us.
There you go.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right,
Next,
thank you.
Next hour, we'll be talking to Mariah Morningstar, a Hagerman author, right here on Top Story. Well, we're back. 7360300 is always the number to call, and it's warming up slowly today. We're at 26 right now.
Wow, balmy.
Is that, yeah, I'll say a tropical heat wave is hitting us right smack in the face, it looks like.
Well, I only have one sweater on today, so I'm happy.
Well, you're planning on it being really hot. then.
Yes, just
Yeah.
one sweater.
There you go.
I know.
Well, we have an author with us, another local author. She's from Hagerman. Mariah Morningstar is the author of the book, A New Vision, The Mystery of the Gospel Revealed, which sounds like an interesting book, and we have her to talk about it. Good morning, Mariah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
Is it a tropical heat wave there in Hagerman also?
Oh, it's a little foggy outside.
Yeah, that's kind of what we have here. So your book, tell us about your book.
Well, it was actually an answer to a prayer that I received many years ago. I was wondering how the universe came to be. So I asked that one night in prayer, and that night in my dreams, I was visited by a being that told me many things, but when I woke up, I couldn't remember them. And I was blessed with this really strong desire to read Genesis, and that's what got me writing my book. Because when I opened Genesis and read it, I was really amazed because there were two gods and two Adams, and it was just I knew what happened in the Garden of Eden, and I didn't know why that was revealed to me, but I wrote down my impressions on it, and then I continued reading the Bible, and I received more revelations. And at first, I didn't know that I was writing a book. I just called it messages. But the days turned into weeks and years, and then I realized I really was writing a book. And it's all about Jehovah and how he has deceived Christians into worshiping him as Jesus. He's pretending to be Jesus. So there were these two gods in the garden, and one was the creator, and two Adams, and his Adam, the creator's Adam, was a hermaphrodite. It was both male and female. And Jehovah's Adam, what he did was he took matter, he took the hermaphrodite being and reformed his Adam and Eve. He separated the hermaphrodite being and created males and females. And his whole plan of salvation is so that he can have salvation, so he can live forever. And Jesus does not have a plan of salvation or a gospel. He's not the Savior. He didn't die on the cross for your sins. He was killed, and then Jehovah appeared to his followers, pretending to be Jesus, and called them fools and commanded them to spread his gospel. So when Christians receive Jesus Christ as their Savior, Jehovah goes by the name of Jesus Christ. He's the Savior. He takes on your sins, and he saves your soul. He keeps it. He sets it apart. That's what save means. So you go to his heaven, his realm, and it's the lowest level of the astral realm where your thoughts materialize. So Christians will not know that it's basically like a cage that they're in, or a prison. They won't even know that they're being held. So this whole gospel plan is so that Jehovah can live off your life force.
So actually, what you're saying in the book then is this whole how do we want to say Christian religion that so many people are today. that's all a facade? That's all wrong?
Yes, yes. Jehovah has deceived Christians into worshiping him. He's the God of Israel. He's not Jesus, and he tricked them into worshiping him and accepting him as a savior. He is pretending to be Jesus, but he's not. Jesus' two words are not in the New Testament. They're in the Essen Gospel of Peace. Has a lot of his true words, and those books were lost to the world. And
Wait, Mariah,
yes.
are you saying that Jesus was in Genesis?
Yeah, in Genesis. Well, Genesis was what started it all for me, because I said this prayer and I had this desire to read it. And as I started reading, I really understood what happened in the garden, and I saw the two gods and the two Adams. And yes, it is there.
They don't use the term Jesus in Genesis.
No, the term Jesus is not. There's the word God, and he created the anthropomorphic being. There's two separate creation stories. So that God is the creator. And
Right.
You're right. Jesus is not in Genesis. No, he's not. Jehovah is. Lord God is. That's the God of Israel. And I was raised in the Mormon church, and I was taught that Jehovah, this God of Israel, was Jesus. He's pretending to be Jesus, but he's not. It's very confusing. It was hard to separate Jehovah from Jesus. It took a lot of study and many years, because he is in the New Testament pretending to be Jesus. But if you recognize his personality, then you can sort of sort it out from Jesus, because he has a very different personality. He's wrathful and vengeful and slaughters people, and of course Jesus didn't do any of that. He healed people.
So is your book about this? I mean,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's all about this. I cover the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. I point out where Jehovah is speaking in the New Testament and where Jesus is, and make it very clear how Christians have been deceived into believing Jehovah is Jesus. And Paul was the main person that tricked Jesus, and I go through that and all of the ways that Paul did this, because he was commanded to do this. And he said, if I don't do this, woe is unto me if I do not spread Jehovah's gospel. And that's, woe is crying out in pain. And it's like he didn't want to deceive the Christians, but he had no choice.
I'm kind of curious, what kind of feedback have you been getting for those who have read your book?
Well, I just published my book last month, and I know it's extremely controversial. I think one thing that's taken me so long to write it is the timing really did have to be right. And when I first started it, which was about 20 years ago, it wasn't, my perception of the Bible and Jehovah and his evil nature really wasn't discussed too much. But it has come out much more. I'm not the only one that knows that Jehovah is evil. So I think that there are people out there that are ready and will be receptive to this message.
How would the Jehovah Witnesses feel? I mean, I think that's their whole premise, that he's not evil, right? That's who they deal with, right?
The Jehovah Witnesses?
Yeah.
They actually helped me quite a bit, because I had let go from the Mormon church, and I was just looking kind of for a foundation to replace that. And then when I said my prayer and I got back into the Bible, they came to my door and they helped me through the studies. I learned more about Jehovah and his wrathful nature. Of course, they think that he's the creator, but it's really shocking, some of the stories that are in the Bible. And it was actually the Jehovah Witnesses that pointed out some of these things to me.
So
what can someone expect? Like, if they're you're reading your book and they're a Christian, what are they going to expect from this? Will this like shake their entire foundation for religion?
Yes. I hope it does that. It should just rip the foundation right out from under them, and that is extremely painful. It's
and
a
Merry
horrible
Christmas.
thing to go through. Yes, and Merry Christmas. It's horrible. I went through that when I realized that my Mormon church was not true, and it is so hard to let go of your belief system that it can literally cause pain. Wrenching physical pain in your gut, and it did make me sick. And Oh, I'm so sorry that Christians have been deceived like this. They are going to go through this pain, and there's no getting out of it because they have to wake up from this perpetual sleep that Jehovah has lulled them into and know what's going to happen, because if they don't,
what is
he
going to
has-
happen?
What?
What is going to happen?
Well,
What is the story then?
Jehovah has a great and dreadful day planned, and he's going to come back to the earth and slaughter his worshipers. He'll pull out his chosen few, and his plan is to live forever on the earth because he's a demon and he needs people. His salvation is from generation to generation. He has to possess people in order to exist. And then when someone dies and they give up the ghost, that's the Holy Ghost. That Holy Ghost has to enter another person. So the whole plan of salvation is for Jehovah and his demons to live, to exist, to have everlasting life. They want to live forever from generation to generation. It's the only way they can.
So
And
what
of
about
course, the Creator does not need salvation, but Jehovah does, and he says so right in the Bible. He says that he commanded Israel to guide all nations to him so that he can have salvation.
so what does the Christian have to look forward to then?
Being slaughtered by their Holy Ghost if they don't cast it out. We need to turn this around where Jehovah, he's gaining control of the entire earth. And his web of deception is right inside our United States government. There's this satanic web that he has weaved that's going out around the entire world. And a lot of it has to do with controlling the world. In Revelation, there's 7 eyes and 7 ears that control the governments, the healthcare organizations, the economies, social healthcare, all of these ways that he is literally controlling the earth and turning it into a totalitarian government. It's why we're on this really black road that we're traveling down.
Mariah, one quick question because we're going to run out of time. What if you're not a Christian? Because I'm Jewish. What's going to happen to me?
Okay, what's going to happen to you and you're a what?
I'm Jewish.
Oh, you're Jewish. Yes, Jewish people worship Jehovah too. He's the Lord of Israel. So you need to reject Jehovah. Muslims need to reject him. All of his worshipers need to reject him. Jews actually have one thing right. They know that Jesus is not the God that's going to return. He's not the Messiah.
Right.
Jesus is not the Messiah. Jehovah is. He is the Messiah, and he's not Jesus. But the thing is, he's deceived everybody that worships him.
Well, we're running out of time. Where's your book available? What's the name of it again?
It's called A New Vision, The Mystery of the Gospel Revealed, and you can order it from any bookstore. You can also get it at Amazon.
And how much?
$22.
Okay,
All right.
great.
Well,
It's a 338-page book, and it's very dense and heavy. There's a lot of information in there.
all right.
Buy it to all
Mariah,
your family members for Christmas. It should be a real eye-opener, huh, Mariah?
Yeah.
Mariah, thank you very much. Certainly been very interesting talking to you about this book.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
we'll
Best
talk to you
of luck.
soon.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Mariah Morningstar of Hagerman with her book. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. I had never heard any of that before.
No.
We'll be right back here on Top Story. 7360300 is the number to call here this morning on Top Story. Welcome back.
That's right.
That was one of the most interesting interviews I've ever done.
It was kind of...
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a Christian, so I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what she was talking about, some of the stuff, but I wondered how Christians heard that. And you are. So
Yeah. Well, I was dumbfounded. I
kind
guess
of
to tell you the truth.
kind of looked like
Do I believe it? No, I don't.
just
I don't.
just smacked or whatever
But you know,
they call.
hey, she can.
Well, you
she
know
can
what?
do that she wishes. It's interesting concept,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's interesting.
it's interesting how people get different ideas from things that they read. I have
That's
to say
the whole
this.
point, I guess.
Yesterday's $100 instant winning name, which is brought to you by the Happy Landing Restaurant,
Happy landing.
is Lester Gunn.
Lester Gunn, congratulations.
And your $100 word of the day for today is metric
Metric.
METRIC. And go to our website, newsradio1310.com. Click on Word of the Day. Type in metric. Listen Monday. If you hear your name Monday and play the word today, win $100. Meanwhile, go to the Happy Landing restaurant and have a meal.
Or if you mention us and you haven't been there before, you get a free piece of pie.
I was out there yesterday, and I heard somebody do that.
No.
Yeah.
Did you
If
say,
you're
I'm Kelly Klaus?
No, but the waitress did.
So have a lot of people been going out there for free pie?
I think so, yeah. Well, here's how that works. If you're a first-time visitor to the Happy Landing restaurant at the Twin Falls Airport and you purchase a drink or a meal or something like that, tell them you heard about it here, then you'll get a free piece of homemade pie.
Pie.
Yeah,
Did
very
you have
good.
pie yesterday when
No,
you
I
went
didn't.
there?
I did not.
Well, you got to try the pie to tell us if it's good.
Well, I've had it before, and it's delicious.
Oh, I see.
I just
Okay.
didn't have it yesterday.
You have taste tested this.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I think I've taste tested everything on the menu at least several times.
Okay.
We got a caller. Top
Okay.
story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I know your host has left. I was hoping that you would identify who she believes God is, because that doctrine she was explaining is very similar to the Luciferian doctrine, who they believe that there were two gods and they were fighting each other, and that Lucifer was the true God and Christ the imposter. And so, anyway, I wish she was there to explain or identify who she thinks God truly is, because that is very similar to the Luciferian doctrine.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately,
I
we just
don't know.
didn't have enough time. I mean, something like that, how do you get that in 15 minutes, you know? But at any rate.
I don't know. I don't know. And like I said, I'm not that familiar with. I just know Jesus isn't in the
Old Testament, yeah.
Old Testament.
That kind of defeats the whole purpose, yeah.
Sort of does.
7360300, top story. You're on the air.
Yes, hi. I don't know who in the world that this lady thinks Jehovah or Christ is. Jehovah, if she reads the Bible or whatever Bible she reads, that they call him Jehovah or Lord or whatever, it's all over the Bible that he is Jesus' Father, and God did create the earth. And I think if she would have just took a match and burned the Bible, she could not have done any more damage. And I better not say any more, because I'm going to get ugly, and I don't want to do that.
Well, that's good. We also have a 6-second delay, so
Yeah,
that's okay.
But thank you very
No,
much for
it's
the
true.
call.
Well,
I
but you
appreciate
know what?
that.
It's people have different opinions, and
Right.
it stimulates conversation, and there you go. And obviously people are talking about it, and that's why you have different ideas.
7360300, top story. You're on the air.
Yeah, just a side note. I don't think she had a dream. I think she had a nightmare, bad pizza or something. But the thing that I wanted to call about was earlier when Jill mentioned that the Republicans had not come up with any kind of a plan. They have 7 different plans that they have put on Harry Reid's desk that he would not even bring up for discussion. So they did have plans. It's just that Harry Reid didn't want the plans out there. So,
Well, they
thank
haven't
you.
voted on the bipartisan bill that the Senate sent to the House. They've had that 512 days, counting today. That's the bill they could deal with. That's the one they came out and said, we could deal with this piecemeal. Remember all that? We'd like to deal with it piecemeal. I mean, Boehner's been talking about it since 2012. We'll deal with it. Oh, we'll deal with it piecemeal. We'll deal with this. We'll just deal with it. So, you know what? It's in the House. That's the fact. And they could adapt that, amend it, do whatever.
We got
Not just
another
ignore
call.
it.
Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Why, which one do we talk about?
I don't know, Kyle. It's up for discussion. It's Open Mind Friday. If that didn't open your mind, I don't know what would.
Well, let's be open-minded. That person down in Hagerman, I believe she got whatever she had or wanted, and I listened to it, and I think she's got a lot of the facts right, but she's got wrong people involved. Everything she described is from Lucifer, not Jesus. So it's kind of upside down. I feel sorry for her, but I believe her that she feels that the time is right, because everything in the world's upside down. So why wouldn't this type of
philosophy be accepted, with everything being, right being wrong, wrong being right. We can go into politics. We can do a lot of stuff. It all fits in. She's exactly right. It fits in with the way society is going right now.
Yeah.
I just don't subscribe to her point of view of.
A lot of people do, though. A lot of people do. And we'll be right back here on Top Story. 7360300 is the number to call here this morning on Top Story. Welcome back. It looks like we might have the identities of those 2 bank robbers from yesterday.
Oh, good.
So we'll talk about that. Also, the folks at Clearwater Power Equipment want you to know they've got the Echo and the Husqvarna chainsaws, and as cold as it's been, you might want to pick one of these up because you might want to consider cutting some firewood for the winter.
Oh, my
'Cause
gosh.
if it goes through winter like it started off, we're going to have a long, cold winter, my friend.
Oh, I feel badly for the people in Buffalo.
Oh,
I mean,
I
it's
know.
bad when you
I
have
don't.
to.
They
No.
know that.
Oh,
They
stop.
know what
no,
the weather's like.
no one has
Yeah.
a year's worth of snowfall in 2 days. I feel bad. You know it's bad when you have to shovel your roof.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right
that
there.
is bad.
I'll tell
I
you
don't
what.
care where you live. When
But-
you're shoveling your roof, you've got
I
problems.
know, but it's like living in
No.
Phoenix,
No.
and complaining about the heat.
No,
Come
no.
on.
You don't get a year's worth of snow in
Well,
2 days.
I know, but it
9
gets
feet
hot
of snow.
in
9
Phoenix.
feet of snow?
I understand
No,
that.
you
I
don't
know.
understand.
I just wish we could get that in our mountains out here.
Oh, yeah, in the mountains, but what if it's on your house?
Anyway,
Ah.
cutting
Where were we?
firewood,
Chuck-
you don't have to have a chainsaw just to cut firewood.
No.
I mean, they're actually quite a versatile tool, and everybody should have one in their tool chest. And you can pick one up today at Clearwater Power Equipment. They've expanded from the Wood River Valley area. They are now in the Twin Falls area. And I even saw a hydraulic wood splitter out there the other day, too. So you can add that to your arsenal. And, boy, you'd really have something then.
Oh, my.
A chainsaw and a hydraulic log splitter.
Do they have snow blowers?
Yes, they
Ship
do.
them
as a
to
matter
your
of fact.
relatives in Buffalo, people, for their roofs.
Merry Christmas,
Merry-
Uncle Pat. And,
Yeah, Merry
and Harriet.
Yeah, if you can just get this on the roof, it works well.
if the trucking company can just get it there. But at any rate, Clearwater Power Equipment, nice people, 252 Washington Street or 734-7767 is the number to call. 2 men fled a bank on bikes yesterday and later got caught. I can hear their thinking now, hey, Joe, why don't we get on our bikes and go down and rob a bank on the busiest street in town?
I know,
Then
no one
we'll
will
take
know.
off and we'll grab your car and we'll go on.
It's cheaper than a taxi.
Yeah, you got that right. I don't know.
We can
The-
get away when we want. We don't have to wait for the cab to get here.
The 2 have been identified as Tweedledee and Tweedledumbo. Holy smokes. And hats off and kudos to the Twin Falls Police Department, Twin Falls County Sheriff's Department, Idaho State Police, and all those involved in tracking these hombres down.
I know, and pretty scary for the bank tellers. It was First Fed, in
Yeah.
case people don't know, right on Blue Lakes and Falls. But you know, it's scary. One had a shotgun, I think they reported. They found in a yard. The other one had a handgun. So you know, that's scary stuff.
Things have changed because in my years
Since
growing
I
up here in
moved here,
Twin
even
Falls,
just when I've moved here, things have changed.
in my years growing up here, I mean, a bank robbery was it was one of the most rare things.
That was what Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid
Yeah,
when you were
exactly
when you were around.
and here in just the last couple of years, and we've had a handful of these things.
I know.
I mean, they even make the national news. You know, with the getaway car was a wheelchair, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
And a
but-
taxi.
And a
and
taxi.
bikes. And
Yeah.
no one would notice us with our hoodies on and
No,
a
of
shotgun
course
sticking
not.
out of my jacket. No one will notice. As we ride our bikes on Falls Avenue, my gosh.
We got a caller. Top story. You were on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, back in the 70s, at the end of the global cooling trend, we had 15 inches of snow in a short period of time, and then it started raining on top of that.
Oh, no.
And Rankin's chemical shed went down. The carports all over Twin Falls came down. So it can happen here too. So I know I was out on one of the busy streets. There was no traffic with my kids that were young at the time, and we were sledding, and all of a sudden it started really raining. And so I thought, I got the ladder out and pulled snow off my roof because I didn't know how much it would stand because it gets pretty heavy.
Yeah, it does. And in fact, in areas where it snows a lot, like back in the day when we had a lot of snow in the Ketchum Sun Valley area, and they would hire people to go out and scoop off their roofs because that can be dangerous.
They say it can be like 14 tons or something.
Yeah.
However many feet that poor Buffalo has, and people's roofs are collapsing.
Oh, absolutely. That's
then what do you do?
Totally plausible.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm with the caller. I mean, we have over the years, I can remember all sorts of weird weather.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, 9 feet. 9 feet is extreme for any place you ever live. 9 feet in 2 or 3 days is crazy. 5 feet at a time. Come on, people, give up. It's crazy. 3 to 5 inches an hour. You have to agree. It's crazy in Buffalo. 5 feet.
It's pretty crazy.
Come on.
But
you
I
haven't
guess
had that.
If they don't like it, they can find another place to live, I guess.
Oh, that's just the easiest answer for everything, isn't it,
Well,
Kelly?
if I didn't like the heat, I wouldn't live in Phoenix.
It's not like they get 5 feet every day. These are lake effect storms.
We'll be right back. I figured this is kind of my last chance.
I guilted him into it. I'm like, if no one comes, it's your own fault. Play the song.
Yeah, my last chance to beg you,
please,
to come and see
I'm
me
begging
at my
you
retirement party tonight.
Because Monday will be ugly.
Yeah. From 5 to 8 o'clock at the Turf Club.
Yeah.
So, in spite of the weather, I don't think the weather's going to be bad at that time. We might get some snow and rain during the night or tomorrow. But
till tomorrow, because Mother Nature, she was a fan too.
I thought so. Yeah. Yeah.
They're gonna have you're gonna have a nice hot hors d'oeuvres. There's gonna be meatballs, things like that. I heard from the Turf Club.
Oh,
I was
really?
there for Rotary. Oh yeah, meatballs, Kelly. Meatballs.
All right.
You'll be there. Meatballs.
So what else did they say? What else are we having?
Well, they said, of course, fruit and crudité, which no one eats, and
What's crudité?
Vegetables. The
I
little
eat
cold
vegetables.
In dip. I'm sure it's probably ranch dressing.
Yeah.
No, she said
I
there'd
like
be
vegetables on my dip.
heavy hors d'oeuvres, and so but it's a no host bar, and so it should be a lot of fun. Come on, you don't have to come from 5 to 8. You can stop any time in between 5 to 8.
Yeah, stay for a couple of minutes.
I'll be there 5 to 5:15, and then I'm moving on. No, I'm kidding. And then I've got plans.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're gonna go out then and have some fun.
Yeah, then I'm gonna have some real fun.
Yeah.
It's like, do I get paid to come? What?
I'm thinking about taking my camera on the tripod and taking
I think you
selfies.
Selfies, then post
with
them.
everybody who shows up. I think that'd be. I mean, what a memory would that be?
For you or for them?
Yeah.
I know.
For me.
Yeah, of
this
course.
is all for me.
It's just so you can.
It's about me.
It's so you can remember.
Yeah, no kidding.
I was at a party. Now you have your guest book.
Where was this at, dear?
You'd be like, why is everyone signing in my book? What was that?
I don't know. Anyway, I would like you to be there. It is a personal
Please come.
favor to me. Yeah.
I know.
7360300. Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yeah, happy party, Kelly.
Thank you.
But I called for 2 points. Number one, I've noticed over the years that when the East Coast gets a lot of snow and a lot of cold, we got it pretty mild out here.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed that too.
And vice versa. Second point, you talked about all the bank robberies and crime in the last few years. Well, we keep letting in illegal aliens and Californians come up here. We're going to get more of that.
Well, I'm not sure how many of the bank robbers have been illegal aliens, to tell you the truth. Or Californians. I don't know.
And I didn't do it. So, sure, I was on the list. Anyone from the East
I think Jill
Coast
has a part-time job here.
Oh yeah. I was at the City Hall tour. Yeah, that was it. No, actually, I was at the City Hall tour yesterday.
It's just what happens when your town grows. You get more crime. It's just natural part of growth.
It's sad
So,
because
yeah,
I remember
it is.
Tom was used to having his door open all the time. He mocks me for locking my car, but again, I came from Boston where people would jump in your car and carjack you.
Yeah.
I think they originated carjacking back there. So, I lock my car everywhere. But the one day he didn't lock his truck and it was in the Kmart parking lot. He went in at 6 o'clock in the evening and his tools were stolen
Ah,
out
does
of
he
his
lock
truck.
now?
Yeah, of course. But he was used to. We live in a nice little town. I'm from
I
Buell.
know.
We don't lock our doors. We don't have to lock our trucks every second of the day. It's 6 in the evening
Yeah, I know.
in the summer, so it
I
wasn't
know.
dark.
Times they are
I
a-changing.
know, it's sad.
7360300. Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I was out at Lowe's when that was almost taking place, I guess. The police sirens are going off, and I come out of Lowe's, and the lady goes, "Is it safe to go in there? Has anybody got a gun?"
I thought they were going to ask you, is this your bicycle?
And I was just sitting there going, "Wow, what's going on? Do I need my gun?"
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
exactly.
Hey, are you coming tonight?
I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. I'm sorry, Kelly. I wished I could.
Me too.
know.
So because you're not coming, I'm going to have to cut you off. Sorry.
Oh. It'd be nice to meet some of the voices we hear all the
It
time.
would. It really would. Yeah. Well, if you can make it, and I understand.
My
not
question
everybody
is,
can make it.
should I bring a gun? I'll just wear my bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of more quick news stories here. Actually, one of them I'm going to get to because we won't have time to do the other. Do you know these modern blow dryers that they have in bathrooms where you dry your hands?
They drive me crazy. They're so loud.
Well, everybody thinks they're so sanitary. But boy, do I have something for you. Modern hand dryers are much worse than paper towels when it comes to spreading germs, according to new University of Leeds research. Scientists from the University of Leeds have found that high-powered jet air and warm air hand dryers can spread bacteria in public toilets. Airborne germ counts were 27 times higher around jet air dryers in comparison with the air around paper towel dispensers. So there you go.
I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I will not use them. The noise, I just don't like it. So now I have one more reason not to do it.
Yeah, well, I've never really liked them anyway. I just like the feel of a paper towel, and then I know that it's dry. And
Then I use it to open the door with because I don't want to touch the handle.
Yeah, there you go.
I know.
The
it's
study
true.
shows that both jet and warm air hand dryers spread bacteria into the air and onto users and those nearby. So there you go.
Be careful if
Watch
there's a paper
those.
towel.
Now, yeah, if there's a paper towel dispenser, use it instead of the. Of course, if you're in there and people are using it, I mean, you're kind of caught in the middle anyway.
Turn away. Cover
But
your
I
mouth.
think they started using those because they were so sanitary, and then it would save on
Shocking.
using the paper products and stuff.
If they have one, they don't have paper towels. I just
Old
dry them in
school's
my
better.
hair.
Old school's better. Here's the
Yeah.
Huckabee Report. You can hear the Huckabee Report each weekday at this time, which is brought to you by the good folks at Waddell and Reed. And they have a phone number you can call, 736-6563.
It's like, I hope you know it because don't be looking this way. You say it so often, sometimes it doesn't sound normal anymore.
I know. That's what
weird.
I'm trying. And there's Laura Nelson, and there's Steve Stanger, and there's Josh Funk.
Well, I hope Laura Nelson comes tonight because I would like to meet this woman who has had to deal with you and your financial investments or lack thereof all these years. Laura, I'm
She's a saint.
imploring you, please come.
She's a saint.
I want to meet this poor woman who's had to endure your wrath because if it's anything like I endure at the breaks about the stock market, oh my gosh, please come.
Saint Laura.
Saint Laura, between 5, there's a lot of people I want to meet that I have heard about. You better all come tonight.
Well, and here's another deal. Maybe Dave Hansen from Canyon Pond will stop by and his crew there.
Well, that's the least Dave could do. Come on, we went to your place. Come on.
At Canyon Pond, which is the newest pawn shop in Twin Falls, they've got everything that you can imagine a pawn shop would have.
And
all right?
more, and more.
And guns.
Mhm.
So, all I can say is just stop in, see the store, talk to Dave and the crew, have a good time, spend a while, walk up and down the aisle, see what
Yeah.
they've got. It's a fun place. Lots of stuff. It's always fun to go into pawn shops, especially this one, because you can even go in with your clean clothes.
Yeah.
In this one, you don't have to worry about getting dirty.
It's lovely for a
Yeah.
pawn shop, and it's the only one I've ever been in, but it's lovely.
Yeah, that's your
It's
first
beautiful.
pawn shop you've ever
My
been
first one. You took me to my first one, Kelly.
There you
So
go.
many firsts for you
Yeah.
and me.
Canyon Pawn is right across from Will's Toyota on Shoshone Street, so I
That's
would
right.
stop in there.
So I have one question. Are you going to make a speech tonight?
I don't know. Actually, Brad was asking me about that a little later. He said, "Do you want to say anything?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. It just kind of depends. people will be moving through. There won't be, maybe not be a lot of people there at any one time. I don't know.
Well, maybe you could,
So-
a little wisdom to the peeps. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Little wisdom to my compatriots or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
after all these years, what you've learned over the years. Get a pipe, sit there, and just, bloviate on everything you've learned.
Yeah. I did get a pipe from my ad, my TV ad.
Yeah, that was cute.
I have to say, I thought that was kind of...
Mabel's agent is still calling me. Can you please ever cut it out? Give the Mabel some dog treats, please.
Anyway, see you at the party tonight, hopefully, at the Turf Club, 5 to 8 o'clock. Love to see you there. You don't have to stay the whole time. Just stop by.
Just stop by.
Have some food, shake hands, take a picture with me, and I'll have my camera there. I think I'm going to do that.
But you got to bring your camera because I'm telling you aren't going to remember it in a few years.
I know. That's or maybe even a few days at the rate I'm going here.
I know.
So we'll see you Monday if we don't see you tonight. So have a good weekend. Goodbye, Jill.
Bye, Cal.